He will start first. Thierry Neuville.
Okay. I mean, championship. Do you think is this guy still favourite for the championship?
Yeah.
Is he? If you're a betting man, I know we're both Evans fans. I think. I mean,
Yeah. I actually would bet on one of the Toyota drivers.
yeah.
Uh,
Okay. So what car out of the three big ones, obviously Ford, Toyota, the Ford Puma, the Toyota Yaris, and obviously the Hyundai i20. What car do you think will be best in Kenya this year?
I think, well, it's difficult to say. For a start, Safari is unpredictable anyway. Um, then the cars with the modern Formula with the subframe, they are very similar. Uh, but still, it's hard to bet against Toyota because the Safari was, well, 2 years ago they had a podium lockout, and last year it was the top four were all Toyotas.
Oh wow, that's domination, isn't it?
It's hard to bet against them, and Hyundai seemed a bit fragile in past Safari rallies. But I also remember last year they had mainly problems with the prop shaft, and apparently they have a much stronger prop shaft this year. So that was one thing they actually addressed. So might go better for them this year, or should go better for them this year.
Yeah, I know that. I know they've all been testing quite a lot, haven't they? They've been doing quite a lot of testing for this rally because, from what I remember, this is one of between Sweden and Kenya. That's one of the biggest gaps we've had in the calendar for quite a while.
Yeah, absolutely. I was actually quite surprised by that gap.
It's 39 days or something, over a month.
Pardon?
It was over a month, wasn't it? It's 39 days, I think, or something like that. Yeah, that's crazy. So, you mentioned him before. I've got Katsuta. Probably pronouncing it wrong in the title up on the screen. How he goes really well at the rally when I've looked at his past results. He got his first podium there, didn't he? I think.
I'm not sure if it was his first podium.
Oh, okay, but I know he's finished on the podium there, hasn't he?
But he did so well in Sweden, and actually I hope him to do well here too, because well, with the other drivers it's difficult to say. With Neuville first on the road, I'm not sure the car has to hold up. Tanak had the problems in the being slow in the mud last year. Katsuta is definitely one of my favorites here. Because remember in Sweden we were all so happy to see him leading.
Yes.
And I honestly would say from the status he is in now, he came on a long way in the recent rallies. He was leading Japan last year at some point. He was leading in Sweden. And what I've seen of Katsuta last year in the Safari, where he went so amazingly quick in the mud, I think Safari is his next chance where he could actually win. And for the faster rallies that are coming later, the really fast ones like Estonia, Finland, or Estonia is ERC this year, but Latvia, Poland, Finland, I think it will be much more difficult for Katsuta. So I think this one might be his best chance this season alongside Japan for a win.
Yeah, I mean, you've obviously seen him throughout his career a lot longer than I have. I mean, for me, he's either all or nothing. As in, like he's absolutely going for it, or he's gonna hit something or go off.
Yeah, I mean, I had before that example with stage 13 last year. He was absolutely mind-blowing there, but he also was twice off the track and still remember over a minute faster than Tanak. So I'm not sure he can do that speed for the entire rally without having a problem similar to what he had in Japan and in Sweden, where he was each time leading. But maybe he gets himself in a position where he then doesn't have to push that much, or difficult to predict the rally really. And
it is,
but I think this is a good chance for him.
Oh, yeah. I think he'd be a good bet on the bookies as well, because I imagine the bookies wouldn't have him favourite.
Yeah.
So yeah, you could probably add a bit of money if you wanted to put something on him, Mr. Tanak. What do you think about Mr. Tanak? He's had a disastrous beginning of the season, hasn't he?
Yeah. And it's said that he really needs a brilliant result here from
Yeah.
Safari. But, well, as I said before, he might surprise us. But what I've seen of him last year in the mud, I'm not sure he is the real Safari driver.
No.
I don't want to be unfair to him. Maybe he surprises us, but from last year, I put my money on him.
No, I mean, with the Safari, because he's going to feel like he's got to have a good result. Like, he's going to want to win. But then, is the Safari one of those rallies? It's always risky to take risks, but is the Safari one of the rallies where it's really going to bite back? It's really risky to take lots of risks the whole way through, which he might have to take. Is it one of the hardest ones for that?
It is. Because especially when it's muddy, you have to judge your speed so much.
Yeah.
And it's well, last year in the mud he wasn't really fast, and as well with the position he's in now, maybe that puts pressure on him as well.
Yeah, maybe.
For it's maybe not the best idea.
No. I mean, I guess it's going to be really interesting, isn't it? Especially when we see the end of Friday, I guess we'll have a good idea about where everything's going. Rovan Pira, Calais is back for Safari. How do you think he's going to do? Would you say he's one of the favourites?
Definitely, he is a previous winner already, and he won it 2 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
Was it? I have to check. Was it Auger last year? Before I take some.
I think it was Auger last year. I think I'm not 100% sure. I've got a funny feeling.
I'll say something wrong.
That's right. The comment section. The comment section may well correct us, but yeah.
I did it out. So it was Auger last year, and it was Kalle 2 years ago, and Kalle was second last year. So Kalle is definitely one of the favorites, and bit of trivia as well.
Always.
Kalle's dad, Harry Rovan Perry, is maybe not so well known what he did in the past. We heard he won Swedish Rally in 2001 in the Peugeot 206, but one event that got Harry Rovan Perry into a Berg's car was actually the Safari Rally 1998. That again fits to a lot of things that I said before, because in 1998, Harry Rovan Perry was in the Seat Ibiza Formula 2 car, front-wheel drive only, and he finished fifth overall. And I think, again, shows that 4x4 is not the ultimate for the Safari. I do believe that was the best result of a Formula 2 car on a loose surface event.
Oh, what wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I see. Not even I knew that. Now, I'm going to get this pronunciation wrong. He's in the this guy's in the Ford M Sport. Is it Jordan? I can never get his last.
Saroidis.
That's the one. Yeah. Ford. When you look at the Ford M Sport, is it mean to say they're always going to seemingly be at a disadvantage compared to Toyota and Hyundai at most rallies, or not? Is that because they're seen by a lot of people as possibly the lesser of the three teams at the moment? Is that wrong?
No, you could say that. Don't want to say anything wrong. The cars are always fantastic when they are newly developed, but over the time when others are catching up, M Sport always seems to be a bit struggling for money. See the lack of a top driver this year. But again, well, Sadoridis is actually a pay driver, and it is actually his own car. He owns the only Ford Puma Rally 1 car that has ever been sold. Which is again one of the problems for M Sport, because normally previously in World Rally cars, they financed their program with selling these cars. And from the Rally 1 cars, they only sold one. And I think Federides is also serviced by M Sport here. But with him, you have to say he's purely there for fun. So I don't expect him anywhere near the top 5 or 6 unless we have many retirements.
Okay.
I mean, it's okay. He does it for fun. It's great he spends his money that way.
Yeah, it's great. Could we though? I mean, talking about obviously if he's going to finish sort of towards the bottom of the the Rally 1 vehicles, could you see a Rally 2 car like Solberg, like we did in Sweden, beat any of the Rally 1s, or not at all? Is that not going to happen?
Especially when it's muddy, I could see that happen.
Yeah, because we saw it happen in the snow, didn't we? But that was more like timing, more than anything else. But you're saying it's not completely impossible then to see that?
Yeah, not completely impossible.
That's going to get interesting, isn't it? Also in the Ford, we've got Mr. Monster. How do you think he's going to go?
Actually, I do believe this could be a great rally for M Sport. Full stop.
Yeah.
Mr. Munster, Grégoire Munster, or Münster, I think they call it in Belgium. Grégoire Munster did his first safari last year, and he surprised us a bit, I must say, because I think he retired in the end, but he was leading the Rally 2 class for some time.
Oh, wow.
So that was a brilliant start for him, a brilliant first safari for him, and surely he has learned from that also, so it can only get better. And also with Formaux, he was, I think, 4th at the safari 2 years ago.
Yeah, Formaux. Podium finish in Sweden, of course, but yeah.
Yeah, and I think he has improved a lot as well. It's a podium finish for him. I didn't expect that in Sweden.
No, no one did, I think.
Yeah. And he missed out on the safari last year, sadly. But his first safari, I do believe he was 4th. And as well, I think we wanted to talk about the starting order a bit later, but he's 3rd on the road this time, which might be the sweet spot.
It could be, couldn't it? Yeah. It could be, couldn't it? So I think we got two of the big drivers left. We've got the winner of Sweden, Mr. Lappi. How do you think he's going to... Could he win again, or...?
I doubt it, I must say.
I was wondering how you're gonna put that. I saw the pause and I thought, oh, what's he going to say? What's Chris going to say? But yeah.
It's difficult to judge the drivers. I don't want to say anything negative about him.
No, I know.
I must say from the way he is as a character, I do like Lappi a lot. And Sweden, fantastic event for him. But I must say I was a bit surprised they picked him for Safari at Hyundai because they swapped their 3rd car. A bit surprised there because, I think Lappi did all right last year on the Safari, but he didn't get much mileage under his belt. It was his first Safari, and he had several problems with it. Hyundai, retired with a broken prop shaft. So he didn't get much miles under his belt on that event.
Oh,
so he might be a bit at a disadvantage from his experience there.
Oh, last but not least, the big drivers. Elvin Evans, podium finisher at least. Do you think?
I would think so.
Will he be leading the championship at the end of come Sunday afternoon?
I hope it for him. I think he has a good chance here, and it's historically Elvin Evans does well in the rain. If it's gravel or tarmac, he usually does very well in the rain. But then here we are talking mud with knee-deep water at times, so it's a bit different. But he did the safari 3 times now, and I think he retired only once. I think it could be an event for him.
Could be, couldn't it? I remember, I tell you what, he was so lucky with that spin in Sweden, wasn't he? He did that beautiful pirouette. Very ballet-like, and then just carried on. So, yeah, I mean, that's...
I think pirouettes is something that when the rain season really comes, it seems to be there already. When the rain really comes, I hope pirouettes will be more the norm than the exception.
Yeah,